I read today that there was a study that was done, and this study says we make 35,000 decisions and choices every single day. 35,000 choices every single day. They range from minor to major choices. Minor choices are, what am I going to eat today? What do I feel like drinking? What time am I going to wake up? What am I going to wear? Those are very minor decisions that one makes every day. But there are these major ones that have an impact on your life as a whole. In your finances, who you're going to marry, who you're going to have children with, where you're going to buy a house, which house you're going to buy. These are decisions and choices that impact our lives every day in a great way. So you want to make sure that you always make the right decisions and choices for yourself. But in order to do so, you need to be able to have a guideline. You need to have a guidance, something that guides you on making the right choices and decisions. And what I've come to realize is that there's two ways in which people make choices, right? The first is intellect, through intellect. So people use intellect more to make choices and decisions. So with intellect, it's about data. It's about information. It's about knowledge that you are gathering from your own experience and different sources, maybe books that you are reading, what you are listening to, what you are hearing, the people that you interact with and ask advice from. So all of that knowledge and data that you are gathering from these different sources, you are then putting it together and using it as a form of guide and analyzing and scrutinizing it in order to help you to make the right choice and decisions, right? That is one way of making decisions and choices, by using intellect. And a lot of us are in this category. We make decisions through intellect, through data and information and knowledge that we are gathering. And there's another way in which we can make a choice, through which we can make choices and decisions, and that is through spirituality. And spirituality is basically about your intuition. It's about your gut feeling, right? It's about that inner knowing, that inner conviction and assurance on the inside of you that is in relation to a particular situation in your life where you need to make a choice and decision. Very few people rely on their intuition in order to make decisions and choices. And an intuition is nothing but that inner consciousness, that divine voice within all of us. It's embedded within all of us. It's that inner faculty within all of us, which we have been gifted with in order to be our guide and help us function in this life. We all have that internal divine GPS system that is embedded in all of us to help guide us. And very few people use these faculties to make choices and decisions. Now, when you operate from intellect, your choices are very limited. They are very limited because your choices and decisions are based within the framework of what you know. And since we don't know everything, it means that you are not informed enough to want to make a choice that is going to help you take the best course of action. You don't always know everything, right? So when you make choices from your intellect, you are very limited and you are bound to make very wrong decisions. And there's been very many choices and decisions that we have made in our own lives, and they have gotten us in a lot of trouble in our finances, the type of houses that we bought, cars we bought, and the kind of relationships we got into, marriages we got into, the kind of people we've had children with, all because of the wrong decisions and choices that we made based on intellect, on just gathering information, analyzing it, and making a decision and a choice from that. And that is a very limited way of actually making choices and decisions. And you don't want to live like that, because as I said, you want to make sure that you make the right choices that will then help you take the best course of action. But when you live, when you make choices and decisions from your spirituality, choices and decisions that are inspired by your inner compass, by your inner faculties that come from your spirituality, then you are guaranteed to make the right choices, because that internal system, GPS system within you, it's divine and it's omnipresent. It's omniscient. It's omnipotent. In other words, it is everywhere. It knows everything and at the same time. So it's in the past, it's in the present, and it's also in the future at the same time. It knows everything. So if you are someone that is more reliant on it, then you are bound to make the right choices and decisions for yourself, because it cannot mislead you, it cannot misinform you, it cannot guide you in a wrong path, because it is intelligent, it is wise, and it knows everything. And at the same time, and it is everywhere. And it's a gift that we have, that all of us have, that we can use in order to guide us to make the right choices and decisions. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily come in a form of intuition or a gut feeling. Sometimes it manifests itself in environments, in people around us. You know, you're just walking down the street and randomly you overhear people discussing something that is connected to your particular situation. Sometimes you read something or you hear something on radio or on television, or you meet someone that happens to talk about something that is related to your specific situation. And all of these things are just popping up as a form of sign and guidance to you in order to tell you or to show you what you need to do. Sometimes it comes in a form of dreams, where you're sleeping and you just dream about something that is so connected to your situation in order to help guide you make the right choice. So this inner consciousness, this divine inner presence within all of us, it manifests itself in so many ways. And if we pay attention to it, we will be able to make the right choices and decisions for ourselves, because it's an inbuilt system that is there to guide us in this life in order to function and be effective and help us make the right decisions and choices for ourselves, so we can take the best course of action. But very few people, as I said, rely on this system. We rely more on the intellect than our spiritual guide, our spirituality, to guide us in making the right decisions. And what I find so fascinating and so ironic is that we know that we are spiritual beings. We are very spiritual beings, but instead of relying on our spirituality to make choices and decisions, we rely more on the intellect, which is more based on the external than on the inside. And so my encouragement to you is invest more time in your internal systems. The more you become aware of your inner space and your inner world, it's the more it speaks to you. It's the more your spiritual ears will open and you'll be able to hear and listen. And I guarantee you will take the right decisions every single time. So spend more time and be silent and just quieten yourself in your busy schedule every day. Just take time and go inside. Just turn inside. Go inside and turn on that inner frequency and begin to listen what is going on in there. You cannot be able to, if you want to listen to a specific station, you need to tune into it. Once you are tuned into it, it's easier to hear what is being said from that frequency, because you are tuned into the station of that frequency, so you're able to hear it. But if you're not tuned into that frequency, you are tuned into something else, you're not going to hear and know what is really happening in that side of the world, because you're not tuned into that frequency. So most of us are not tuned into our inner frequency. That's why we don't know anything. We don't know what to do, what decisions to make. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to think whatsoever, because we are not tuned into that frequency that will guide us. Instead, we are tuned into this frequency of our intellect. And yet, there is no assurance in this. You can only know so much and do so much that can assist you. More than that, it's just the guess game. You're just hoping and believing and having faith that things are going to work out in your favor, because you don't know what's going to happen. But when you rely on this internal system that we've been gifted with, which is part and parcel with us and our lives, when you rely on it more, then you're able to make better decisions and choices for yourself every single day. No matter what they are, you will know exactly what to do.